Ja, hallo liebe Buff-User. Heute hat uns der Simon Finch von Tryon besucht und wird uns ein bisschen was über die neuen Updates erzählen und das Free-to-Play-Modell. Und ja, for the start, can you introduce yourself and tell us something about your job? You're in the industry for a long time now.
A very long time. I think I published my first game in 1983, so a long time.
And what was it?
What was it? Oh, it was on the ZX Spectrum. It was a game called SOS.
Okay, what's your job now at Tryon?
I'm the senior design director at Tryon, which means I work with and run the design team that makes Rift.
Okay, and how long do you have been working
How long have I been at
Tryon?
About 4.5 years. So
Okay.
about 2 years before we launched Rift. So Rift's been out for about 2.5 years, and I was there for a couple of years before that.
And Rift is free to play now.
It is. We have been free to play for about a month now. It's been amazing because suddenly a whole lot more people came into the game. We had a load of people playing before. Now we've got a load times 10.
Yeah, you have always done a good job regarding updates and stuff you brought into the game. So what was the reason for the conversion?
It was really just the right time to do it. I mean, we've continually asked ourselves over the time, ever since we launched Rift, is the subscription model the right thing for us? And we would periodically ask that question. We looked at several different possibilities of extending the Rift Lite up to level 50, but eventually we decided, no, the right thing to do is go free to play. The market has changed. It's a much more acceptable business model now. And we just wanted to remove that last barrier so that everybody could come and play Rift. I mean, the team makes the game because they love the game and they're proud of the game. They just wanted to show it to as many people as possible. So now there's absolutely no reason to come and
Okay, it has
not to come
nothing
and try
to do
Rift.
with like Tryon has overextended financially with
No.
the
No,
development
no.
of other games.
I mean, no, we were doing fine. I mean, Rift has always been successful, and it was much more about just making sure that it was open to as many people as we possibly could.
I think it's part of the evolution of the MMO market now.
I think it's part
Is
of
the
the
subscription
evolution.
model dead?
You know, who knows? I mean, that's predicting the future. Right now, it's not looking so good for the subscription model, I'll say that. But and I don't think it's just MMOs. I think it's the games industry as a whole. People want to be able to try something and find out if they like it before they decide whether they're going to give you any money for it. I mean, I don't think there's a gamer out there that hasn't sort of paid $60 for a game and they've taken it home and they put it in their console or in their PC or whatever and they play, God, this is rubbish. And you just feel like you got ripped off for $60. So I think they love the fact that they can come and try something, and if they like it, it's like, you know what, this is worth me giving some money. So that's definitely been really happy for us. We love people to come in and try our game, and we feel that we've got something that people are going to want to play.
Okay,
so.
and it's successful right now?
Yes, amazingly so.
Can you tell me
No.
some numbers now?
The reason, it's not, I mean, I would love to. There's nothing I'd like to do more than brag about our numbers, but there's some people that I'd rather not hear those numbers. So.
Do you see what are the most favorite items in the shop?
Yeah, I mean, we have over 5,000 items on our store, and it's fun seeing what people really, really like. I mean,
Yeah, I'm a big fan of pets. And
yeah, there's a lot of pets on the store. People love the pets. They really love the mounts. Rift has always had amazing looking mounts. And there's even more of them now, so they're really great. The costumes, there's a lot of amazing costumes. Pretty much all of them can be dyed different colors, and so the number of looks that you see suddenly exploded. I mean, it was always pretty amazing what people managed to do with the costumes, and now it's just sort of multiplied like crazy. I would like to point out that all of the things that you can buy in the store are really just fun items. They're convenience items or just like entertainment items. There's nothing on the store that is going to make you a better player than somebody else. We really didn't want to go down that route. Everything in the game that you need to play the game is free. All of that's always free.
Because before the start, some people are arguing about
pay to win.
Armor.
Yeah.
Stuff.
No, we didn't want to do that.
You always have to play to get the best
To get the highest level raid gear or the highest level PvP gear or anything that you actually need to make your character viable, yeah, you have to play the game to do that.
So okay, the best stuff is in the raids.
Well, it depends on what kind of content you like to play. I mean, if you're a PvPer, then maybe you might want to get the best PvP gear, and they're slightly different. But yes, it's all in the game. If you want actually the best stuff, you got to play the game, and you earn it through the game. You can't just like buy your way to the top. Yeah.
And how's exactly the plan for the business model in the future? Do you want to add some new stuff?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'm only going to talk about personally what I want to have happen is I love Rift and I love what we've made and I love people coming and playing it, and I want to make sure that we continue for that always to be free. I mean, all of the updates that we have planned that we can talk about in a bit is they're all going to be free. My assumption is that people will come and play the game, decide they really like the game, and they'll stay and they'll play and they'll get hooked in the world that we've made. And they'll go, you know what, I like these guys, they made a good game, I'm going to go buy a hat on the store, you know. So, and it is amazing, that seems to be working so far, and I just am going to assume that that's the way it's going to work forever until I get proved wrong.
So you said you want to give people new updates and expansions for free, so you
always for
bring
free.
new areas to the game and classes maybe for free?
Well, the classes, no. I mean, anything that we feel is necessary, in other words, content, we don't want to split our players up into those that have paid and those that haven't. So the content and places you can go and all of the stuff you can explore, dungeons, raids, all of that stuff, that will always be free. There are some things that we feel are not 100% necessary. I mean, when you first get the game, you get 8 souls. That's more than enough to make any kind of character you want. So we put the Storm Legion souls. If you've had an account before, you get to keep those. But if you're a brand new player, you've never played Rift before, those are on the store for purchase. And the new souls that we plan to unveil in 3.0 are also, they will go on the store because they're not needed. You don't have to have those. They're just, you know, there's something for fun. They give you a bit more flexibility, but they're not necessary. So we feel we're justified in those cases to put that kind of stuff on the store. But everything else is free, yes, all of the content. So if you don't want to pay a dime, you just want to come and play the game, by all means, you're welcome, come and play, you don't have to pay at all. We're happy to have you, we love what we've made, we want you to see what we've made, we're proud of it. And if you're there playing the game, you are, you know, you're content for other players as well. You know, I mean, that's the thing about MMOs is the players are content for other players. So even if you're not directly giving us money, you're still adding value to the game. So we're happy to have you. So
how can you stand out against other MMOs in the market? Is this complete free to play thing? You're part of the plan to rule the market? To rule the world? Absolutely, I'm going to rule the world. It's like, no, but I really actually do believe that. I mean, I don't want our players to feel like they are just there for us to squeeze every last bit of money out of them. I mean, that's not why our team made the game. Our team made the game because they're passionate about MMOs, they're passionate about the game they made, and they're proud of it. I mean, they're proud. The people that made this, including myself, we're really proud of it. And it's like when you're proud of something, you want people to see it. It's like, come and look at what I made. You know? So, yeah, I fully believe that if we have made a game that people want to play, they will buy some things on the store because there's some cool stuff on the store, and or they might just buy something on the store because they think, you know, those Tryon guys, they're pretty cool. They've made a great game. I'm going to support them and give them a bit of my money and make sure that they're around for a long time so that they can continue to deliver content. And that's our plan. We'll see. Ask me in a year's time if we're ruling the world. Yay. What is the team currently working on?
What are we currently working on? Well, there are several different things going on at the moment. We have a team that is currently putting the finishing touches on the Summerfest. We're bringing players that have been in Rift for a while will remember Summerfest from last year. It was like a scavenger hunt. You had to go around and find pets and stuff. They've extended that out to all of the new Storm Legion zones and added a little bit of new content. we've added a few things to the store, especially for summer. You get some pretty cool swimming costumes will be available. So there's a group doing that. There's a group that is just finishing up stuff on 2.4 that is all about instances. There's a couple of raids. 20, it's like a combined. It is split into two. You can do them individually or you can do them together, one after the other. But they are basically individual. But so yeah, 2 raids basically. 20-man raids, a 5-person level 60 dungeon, which is a new telling of Realm of the Fae. That was a big fan favorite, Realm of the Fae. It was also a personal favorite. But so we're retelling a different story in that of like Atrophinius's nightmare. I mean, Atrophinius is, as you may know, is sort of like a feature character in Rift. And as we moved towards 3.0, which we can talk to a little bit more in a minute, is also about dreams and madness and nightmares. So this version of Realm of the Fae is sort of like Atrophinius's nightmare. And then a couple of chronicles. So this next big update is really all about instances and people playing in raids and dungeons and chronicles. And for those that don't know Rift, a chronicle is a dungeon that is scaled for 2 people. Really. I mean, if you're really good and you've got some really great gear, you might be able to do it on your own. No, I get murdered in those things too. It's like, but if I go in with a friend, they're sort of like you and your significant other, or you and your buddy. You can go in and have a really good time. And we've dialed those up a bit. They were quite a bit more difficult and challenging. That was something our players asked for. We've always been very responsive to our community. We listen to what they like and what they don't like, and we interact with them a lot. And
what they don't like? What
they don't like? Oh man, they're just like, well, there's always somebody that doesn't like everything, and there's always somebody that loves everything. So it's always a bit of a balancing act, So one of the things they asked for, which I suppose you can say there was something they didn't like, they didn't want things to be too easy. We do a lot of content that is quite easily consumable. The quests are relatively easy to do and stuff like that. But they wanted, particularly in instances, they wanted to feel there was a bit more challenge. So starting with 2.3 that we just released, the Queen's Gambit Chronicle is quite a bit more challenging than some of the other ones that have come before it. And we're continuing that through because it went over really well. Players really liked the Queen's Gambit Chronicle, which was quite punishing.
And can you tell me something about 3.0?
I'll tell you anything you want to know. I will say though, but because 3.0 is at least a year away.
It will be an expansion.
It is. It is. It'll be an expansion that's free. It's not. It won't be in a box or anything like that. So it's we call it an expansion.
You don't have any plans to sell it as a box for?
Not right now. No. I mean, I get asked that a lot, and like I say, it's at least a year away. So who knows what the plans will be as we get a little bit closer to launch. But right now, the plan is for it to be download only. I mean, there will be a download and it will be free regardless of whether we decide there's a collector's edition as well. But I mean, that's something for our marketing people to figure out. I just make the game. But I do know that we plan for it to be free. It will, and we call it an expansion just because of the scale of it. It will be increasing the level cap to level 65. There'll be 4 more souls coming along with it, a bunch more zones, and the players are going to get to go to the plane of water. So finally get to explore one of the planes for real. I mean, they have been to the plane of death, kind of, when they went to kill Regulus in the Regulus raid, and they will be going to the plane of Earth in the upcoming 2.4, where one of the raids... I saw a
picture of a map, and there will be underwater leveling areas, or...?
Well, we are still, as I say, so like, because we're talking such a long way out, anything I say now is liable to change. So if a year from now, when you're playing in 3.0 and you remember something I said and you go, but wait a minute, he said this was going to be in it. I'm sorry, we change things we need to. But there definitely will be some underwater content. How much, we are still trying to figure out. I mean, we get a lot of players saying, oh yeah, I love underwater dungeons. I want underwater dungeons. Like, yeah, do you really like that, or are you just saying that? So what we're actually going to do is put some underwater content much earlier than 3.0. So actually some of it will start showing up quite soon, just a little bit of it, just to see, and we'll see, hey, do you really like this? If you like this, that will help guide us how much underwater content we actually put into the plane of water. Water comes in many forms, and there's ice as well. That's nice and solid. You don't have to worry about that. There's steam, and also for anyone that knows Rift and the planes and how they work, it's not just about the element of water. The plane of water is also about madness and dreams and nightmares. For anyone that's played the water saga that's in the game right now, they know that it was all about actually going crazy. It wasn't particularly about water. So we have options to make the plane of water never take you underwater if we want, but we know that players want it, so we're just trying to figure out how much should there be. So yes, there'll be some. How much there will be, we are beginning to figure that out. Because fighting underwater can be challenging to make that fun. And we want to make sure that whatever we do, it's fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where do you see Rift in 5 years?
Where do I see it in 5 years? That's where we'll be owning the world. 5 years? Yeah, I'll take about 5 years. You know, I hope that in 5 years we have, by then we should have done at least 5 more expansions, right? So we are aiming to try and do huge updates like that around it takes a little over a year maybe, because we also do a lot of updates in between that are by no means small. For anyone that, you know, experienced 2.3, we opened up a whole new zone and new raids, new dungeons, new chronicles, and we put in the free-to-play shop. So we have a lot of work to do in between each of those big updates. But yeah, I hope that we still have as vibrant a community as we have today in 5 years' time. And I don't see why not. It's been going strong for 2.5 years. So it's good.
Okay, and the next big thing is 2.4?
That is the next big thing, yeah. We talked about that. That's the instances.
The release is planned for?
September.
September.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, you have an exact date?
You know, I don't know whether they've announced an exact date. I don't have it at my fingertips. I can't remember, but that's September. I'm pretty sure there's a date up on the board somewhere that I should know, but I can't remember it. And then we do have 2.5 and 6 and 7 pretty much planned. And then depending on where we deliver 3.0, we may put in some other updates in between as well. So yeah, there's a lot of fun stuff coming, yeah.
Okay. Do you have planned anything for PvP players?
Yes, absolutely. Okay, I'm going to talk about something that's a little bit secret, I guess. We are still putting the finishing touches on this, so things may be liable to change, but one of the really exciting things that I think for PvP players is something we're calling PvP-Dimensions. So what that is we're actually going to make some objects that, well, first of all, maybe I should tell people what dimensions are for those that don't know. They are Rift's take on housing, if you like, but they're a little bit more free-form than that. They are like a little instance of Talara, and players can put any objects they like. They can scale them, they can rotate them, they can make the most unbelievable things. I mean, if people actually go and look at some of the dimensions that have been made in Rift, they are incredible. They're just absolutely amazing. Boats and castles and just, you name it, people have made it. And we are going to add to that objects that players can buy on the store and put into their dimensions that will actually allow them to set up PvP games that they can then have their friends come in or anyone come in and actually participate in. And we're going to start relatively simple and build on it, but for example, maybe you would buy some spawn-in points. So, you know, the Guardians spawn in this place in my dimension, and the Defiant spawn in this place in my dimension, and it's a 5-minute deathmatch game, and you buy an object that actually sets up that rule set for you, and then just people go at it. And
you can build
and they can build whatever the heck they can build whatever they like. I mean,
in the game right now, like capture the flag, or
well, they still have all of the tools of the dimension, so they can build whatever the heck they like. They can make a crazy maze for people to fight in if they want, or they can just leave it completely open or anything. We're going, like I say, we're going to start simple, just see how this goes, and we'll probably just start with deathmatch. It's sort of like the simplest type of thing, you know. And you would buy an object that would make it a 5-minute game. game. If you plunk down 2, it would become a 10-minute game. 3, it would become a 15-minute game. So people will have the flexibility to set up what they want. But our plan is absolutely to then kind of like make new objects that maybe make a capture the flag point that you can place down, or maybe it's a domination map where you have to, or a survival map. I mean, people that have played some of the war fronts that we've got in the game will know, like,
and stuff
exactly.
like that.
So and what makes me most excited about this is I know that as we give these little tools to players, they're going to come up with something we hadn't even thought of, and that's when it really gets exciting, when the players sort of like get these things. As I was saying before, what they've managed to make with the objects we gave them just for dimensions already is absolutely fantastic.
Ja, das war das Interview mit Simon Finch. Vielen Dank nochmal. Und falls ihr Wünsche, Fragen, Anregungen, Kritik habt, wie wir es beim nächsten Mal besser machen können oder was wir anders machen sollen, dann einfach in die Kommentarfunktion und das Video. Dankeschön.